Good evening. Today is Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, regular meeting of the Newburgh Enlarged City School District. My name is John DeRay. I'm the board president, and we will start the meeting with a roll call.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Here.
Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Here.
Ms. Boucher. Mr. Bergarelli. Ms. Burks. Mr. DeRay.
Present.
Mr. Howard.
Here.
Mr. Levenstein.
Here.
Ms. Politi.
Here.
Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby recesses into executive session for the following purpose: matters made confidential and deferred, matters leading to the employment of particular employees or corporations, employment history of employees or corporations, collective bargaining under the Taylor Law, and to obtain advice from legal counsel. Can I get a motion and a second for executive session?
So moved.
Roll call.
Ms. Thomasina Bello.
Yes.
Mr. DeRay.
Yes.
Mr. Howard. Mr. Levenstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi.
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.
Thank you for the education.
Excuse me. We're all set to begin. Returning to public session. Next up is Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Levenstein is going to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move to item 3, I just a couple of comments, all positive, by the way. On Saturday, I attended with several board members the backpack giveaway. School is cool, and I have to tell you, incredibly proud of the district. It was kind of a misnomer to say it's the backpack giveaway because there were so many other things going on, whether you wanted a haircut, an ice cream, food, check your teeth, check your eyes, just an incredible array of things. And the people that were there, the volunteers, the district staff, the library staff, the dedication was really nice to see. But I will tell you that the stars of the show were all online. We had about at least 1,400 kids, because that's how many backpacks we had, along with their parents. And, you know, I got to look at the line. The line moved well. Our security staff did an excellent job making sure people were hydrated. And I think it was in this room we were giving away the backpacks. Just so nice to see. So I think that's us at our best, and that's very appreciated. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, yeah, I'd like to dovetail on that. It was an incredible event. Like I said, every year we get bigger, better, stronger, and it's just a testament to what our family and community engagement team is doing, what we're doing as a district, how we're really doing right by our community, by our constituents. I mean, they had barber shops there, they had cosmetology, they had the face paint, they had the food. I mean, people were talking about it all over the place. I'm walking away. I'm coming from Broadway. I see families walking away. Oh my God, did you see the book bags we got this year? I mean, people were really excited, and I think it's something that we should really take umbrage with and understand that we're serving our community and we're doing an incredible job, and I'm looking to a bigger and better one next year.
And it will be. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Also, I received a letter, an email from Dr. Mack, and I'd love to share it with you. It's, Dear Board Members, it is with great excitement that we share an important milestone for the Newburgh Enlarged City School District. NECSD has officially achieved certification for My Brother's Keeper, MBK Alliance. This recognition formally designates us as a certified MBK community, joining a network of districts and municipalities committed to improving outcomes for boys and young men of color, as well as other underserved youth. From the moment Dr. Manning Campbell and I joined NECSD, advancing MBK has been one of our central priorities. Over the past 4 years, we have worked to align our vision, programs associated with all 3 of our MBK grants, and partnerships with the community organizations to meet the rigorous standards set by the MBK Alliance. This certification is not just a title. It is a reflection of the sustained commitment, collaboration, and impact we have cultivated throughout our schools and community. This distinction could not have been achieved without the steadfast support and partnership of board member and my friend Phil Howard, whose advocacy and leadership have been instrumental in driving the NECSD MBK work forward. His voluntary dedication in supporting our students to ensure equity and opportunity has helped position NECSD as a model for other communities across New York State. We are proud of this accomplishment and energized by the opportunities it creates for our students. As we move forward, we will continue to expand MBK initiatives, deepen community engagement, and ensure that this certification translates into tangible outcomes for our young people. Thank you for your ongoing support and belief in the power of MBK to transform lives. And Dr. Mack, thank you for your ongoing support in transforming lives. Same, Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to say this is huge. We've been doing an incredible job with our My Brother's Keeper initiative throughout the state of New York. But this is a national recognition now. And I got to be perfectly honest with you. I've always been on Dr. Mack's case. I said, listen, what do we have to do to become a community? Because when you see what Yonkers is doing and other communities that are a part of this network are doing, it's incredible that what we're about to open and expose to our youth. It's a game changer. It really is. And I'm really proud of the district. I'm really proud of the community. I'm proud of one of my fellows standing in the back right there, Mr. Cameron. He's doing an incredible job. but I'm really looking forward to pushing this down, because I've always said that, you know, we do an incredible job at the high school level, but I truly believe to really, really have the impact that we really need to have in our community, we need to drill this down to the middle school level and hopefully at some point in time to the elementary schools, because that's where it starts. And if we can get the support that we need to push this program at that level, we will be an incredible place for our young people, for our young scholars. I want to give our young scholars a hand because they do an incredible job representing.
Ms. Peterson.
So I know one of the things that I know the district and Dr. Mack has done during the time is really to center the focus around the grant management, because we know that programs like our backpack event, like different family and community engagement events, comes from writing an awesome grant to get the funding. And our hope is to return some of the initial dollars that we have to the program so that it can be expanded and be brought down to serve more members of our community so we can have more wonderful events like that.
Dr. Mack, go ahead.
So I wanted to just give some clarity on what the MBK, the My Brother's Keeper Alliance is, and what it means to be a certified community, because some of you are probably thinking, well, what does that mean? There are 4 certified communities: MBK Tulsa, MBK Omaha, MBK Nebraska, and MBK Yonkers. Yonkers is amazing. What they do in Yonkers, we're going to beat that. I want to say that first. It's great. Newburgh's going to be better, much better, because we're bigger and we're better. But I do enjoy the program in Yonkers immensely, but I like a healthy competition. The MBK Communities is the Obama Foundation Alliance. He spearheads everything within it. This opportunity will give our young men the opportunity to interact with Barack Obama, to become an MBK ambassador, and to look at MBK beyond high school as an alumni. So it is an incredible opportunity. It will also allow us to open more doors as it relates to STEM and supporting girls in STEM and MSK, which is about to roll out, which is my sister's keeper in New York State. They haven't dropped any funding yet for it, but the hope is that the MBK Alliance and us now being a certified community will allow us to do that as well. And it is predicated on 6 milestones: entering school ready to learn, reading on grade level by 3rd grade. What's another one? Graduating from high school on time, completing post-secondary education, creating safe spaces for our youth, ensuring
and
that
third
they're
chances.
safe from violent crime, and all youth that are out of school are employed. So this allows us to look at MBK through a whole nother lens, and it really is an incredible opportunity for the kids in this school district. So thank you. And I'm gonna be bothering y'all to support us, absolutely.
Thank you. Anyone else? Make a motion.
Mr. President, I'd like to move that we bring 12.1 up to the 3.2 so that we can have the non-agenda and agenda items at the same time, behind
Thank you.
each
Can I
other.
get a second? Call the roll.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. DeRay?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Thank you. We're at public comment on agenda items. We still have one policy in review, so at the moment, we're at 3 minutes per speaker.
First person to sign up on agenda items is Ms. Dawn Fuchek.
Good evening, Dawn Fuchek, Town of Newburgh. Tonight I'm speaking on Agenda Item 6.6. I see that it includes the abolishment of certain positions, and I understand that these positions were not budgeted for in the 2025-2026 school district budget. I also believe that some of these positions may have been in violation of the Taylor Law. One position is the principal for the new CTE building scheduled to open in September of 2026, and for me, this raised several questions. Opening and preparation. When the P-TECH program was launched, the principal was brought in well in advance to prepare for implementation. What's the plan for leadership and preparation for the new CTE building? 2, a planning committee. Will there be an ad hoc committee or other group to oversee the transition? 3, the current CTE spaces. What will happen to the buildings and spaces currently housing our CTE programs once they move out of those buildings and into the new facility? 4, student scheduling. Will students in the new building remain there for all of their classes? Will all levels, non-regents, regents, honors, classes for our exceptional learners, specials classes, will they all be offered on site at the new CTE building? Or will students need to travel between the buildings? And enrollment and recruiting. What are the district's plans around enrollment and recruiting for this new building that's opening? It seems clear that the opening of this new facility requires a well-structured transition plan. If such a plan already exists, could it possibly be shared with this community? And if it doesn't exist, when might we expect to see one around this? The other question I had on this also addresses an abolishment in special education, but I wanted to just speak to the fact that we're still currently without an assistant superintendent for exceptional learners, a role that I believe is critical in this district, and was just wondering what the status of filling that position is at this time. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
There's nobody else signed up to speak on agenda items. If anybody else would like to speak on agenda items, please come to the podium. Okay, moving on to non-agenda items. The first person signed up to speak on non-agenda items is Ms. Megan Tantano.
Good evening. I'm here because our children are being failed, not by lack of funding, but by how that funding is used. Our budget is one of the largest in the state, yet classrooms are overcrowded, teachers are stretched, and students are placed in classes below their abilities because there isn't enough qualified instructors. My daughter has never gotten below a 94 average, overall average for her 7th grade, yet she is being forced into regular classes. I've been told that there's only one, she goes to Temple Hill. I've been told there's only one class and it's filled. So regardless of, they're capping it at 27. If there's more than 27 students that are eligible, there's only 27. So I think that that's just unfair. It's not right. And also, if other schools are letting other students with a grade below 94 participate in honors program, that's also not fair. I think transparency and accountability are important, and it's not fair to let our kids take classes that are below them. And I've also been contacting the superintendent on 6 occasions since July 14th, and I've never gotten a call back. So it would be nice to get a response. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next person signed up to speak is Ms. Tamika Stewart.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here on behalf of some residents in the community, and especially like that surrounding the new building. They have a lot of complaints about the construction and things that are happening. There was some issues, some major issues with parking of the laborers on their properties. They worked with the city to get some temporary parking restrictions in their area, but I'm hoping that the district could appoint or identify someone to be a community liaison to the neighbors, residents, and homeowners that are affected by the construction of the building, just to engage them, to see what's going on, just to be better partners in this construction while it's happening. They're excited about the new building. A lot of them expressed that they have voted for this to happen, and they want to see something, see something come out of it that's great for the kids, but they are really disappointed at the engagement and communication with the district as it relates to their needs with the construction of the new building. So we're hopefully trying to get someone to interact with them, engage with them, and help them work out some of the issues that they're having, just to be better partners. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ms. Dawn Fuchek.
Dawn Fuchek, Town of Newburgh. I'm going to speak fast. I thought I had 5 minutes, so. Good evening. Our district has now spent months operating under the suspension of the superintendent with acting superintendents in place. This is not a small matter. It affects every decision, every priority, and ultimately every student in our schools. While I respect that personnel matters require confidentiality, the continued lack of resolution is preventing us from moving forward. I understand that you cannot share specifics of the investigation, but the community is entitled to know when this will be resolved. It's been months without a single public update on the required hearing. What is the holdup, and why hasn't a hearing been scheduled yet? At this point, the silence raises more questions than it answers. Even if you cannot speak to the evidence, you can and should tell the public how much longer this process will take and what steps remain before a decision is able to be made. I know that this board wants to focus on student achievement, especially when it comes to our current ELA and math scores and our graduation rate. But to do that, the community needs clarity. We should know exactly where we stand, what the plan is to improve, how we will get there, and how that plan will be monitored to ensure success for all of our students. Without a clear roadmap and transparent progress checks, it's impossible for the board or the community to hold the district accountable or to rally behind the district's goals. We cannot talk about improving student outcomes when leadership is in limbo. Strategic plans stall, initiatives lose momentum, and the consistency of our staff and students depend on simply isn't there. The instability erodes trust, both inside the district and in the broader community. The board is elected to make decisions in the best interest of student, even though when those decisions are difficult. That means setting clear timelines, communicating transparently within the bounds of the law, and taking decisive action. Every month of delay is a month we can't get back for our students. Our children only have one shot at their education. Leadership uncertainty at the top sends a message, intentionally or not, that adult conflicts and unresolved issues take precedence over student learning. That cannot be the legacy of this board. I'm asking you to act with urgency, resolve this matter, and restore stable, accountable leadership so our district can return to the business of educating our children without distraction and without delay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Tracy Wallace.
Hi, I'm Tracy, City of Newburgh. I want to talk about adding the policy 3120 for the duties of the superintendent. I spoke about this before, asking for the board to consider looking at this policy because it gives, it's very different than contractual. Contractual has duties and responsibilities where the superintendent's policy gives more clarity as far as the expectations of the board and very clear roles and responsibilities that is just very different contractually. I'm asking for clarification on, not clarification, I'm asking for you to review that policy. I'm asking also to review the attendance policy when it comes to extracurricular activities. I'm thinking about the 90% that was raised, I think, last year for expectations of attendance and joining clubs and joining athletics. So there's a lot of kids that may not be able to fit the expectations due to the attendance policy and their abilities to be social in your community. It's very important for people to find their way in school, not only academically, but socially. And I really consider, I find it unfair, some of the policies that only include certain people that can meet those expectations, and that there are not exceptions to some of these policies where kids who want to join, not just athletics, but other clubs and other ways so that they can be able to find those connections that they can't find anywhere else. Also asking for policy, superintendent's policy. And then I'm asking for the board to also review other policies. There are still older policies that need to be reviewed and removed. You still have on your website that's not been updated, when you look at policies, it still says, it always says under review, in yellow, and it's just not updated. So I'm asking you to review those policies and to ensure that the policies, although we do, I'm not saying not to listen to your lawyer, I'm not saying not to get recommendations, but I'm asking for the board to do their own research in policies that are working well for other schools that we refuse for some reason, not for some reason. I see other reasons the lawyers are stopping you from doing it, but they're doing well in other schools. And superintendent's policy is one of those doing well in other schools, where they don't have as many issues with several superintendents and clarification between board members asking for materials or board members asking for clarification. So just moving forward, I would just appreciate if the board can do what's best for the students, because the lawyers are here to do what's best for the district, but you're here to do what's best for the students. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's nobody else signed up on non-agenda items. If anybody else would like to address the board on non-agenda items, please step to the podium.
Hey, everyone. Sarah Maida, town of Newburgh. I just have a quick thing. So I think for some of us, trying to understand what's currently going on with the reading program in the district is challenging, given some of the purchases that were made, the fact that the American Reading Company, I think, is now not being used or not being used by everyone. So I'm just asking if the board could provide us with some clarity, like a public update about what the state of the reading programs for the districts are. The other thing I just wanted to say in closing is that we have two of our seniors who have been probably at more board meetings than most of us, who are here for their last one because they're leaving for college. So just want to say thank you, Elena. Thank you, Joe, for everything you've done.
Good evening, Jeff Woody, Town of Newburgh. I'd like to make an observation, and that is for this past several meetings, the environment, the atmosphere, the board meetings has been tremendously different. It's a welcome change for the community. It's a good look, a better look for Newburgh, whether we understand it or not. We are live streaming. Communities all around are watching. They're forming opinions about our district and how we conduct business. So I'd like to just say thank you for this welcome change. I'd also like to add that, as I've said before, we, the community, are going to hold you accountable. Just because the atmosphere, the climate is different, doesn't mean that we're going to just sit back and not hold you accountable. We are going to hold you accountable. I'd also like to add that I'm just glad, again, that we have this, in my mind, a fresh start. And I'm hopeful that moving forward, the district, the board members, the cabinet members can work together, can be collaborative, to make things move forward for the betterment of our scholars. The focus has not been of late on them, and we are in the business of doing things that are good for our children. If we didn't have students here, we wouldn't have jobs, we wouldn't have positions. So let's please be mindful that we are here because of the students. And this district has so many wonderful programs to offer, so many wonderful opportunities for our students in our community. And I think that we should also look to, I heard someone mention it in one of our previous meetings, we should look to getting that marketing company to help emphasize the positives. We have too many negatives on social media, too many negatives in various news outlets. Let's emphasize, let's highlight all the wonderful things that the students, as well as teachers and administrators, are doing in this district. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Moving on to Section 4, Superintendent. Ms. Peterson.
So thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. There's a couple of things that I want to update and also respond to some of the things that I can that were said during public comment. First, just as a reminder, school starts on Thursday, September 4th. Last week, the Family and Community Engagement Team, as well as our community partners, participated in two very large events, National Night Out, that happened in the municipalities, as well as the back-to-school celebration, School is Cool, which was well-attended. I know Mr. Duray and board members have already commented on some of those events that were well-attended, and it does show the invigoration around our community engagement efforts and try to expand and grow that program. On August 20th, from 5 to 7, we have the Jump Scout Jamboree, and that is an opportunity for our pre-K and kindergarten scholars to become engaged with our school community and our programs. So we're asking you all, if you have a pre-K or K program, please come out on August 20th to support. Also, we know that our summer programs have ended as of Friday, and this week we're in Regents Review. So if there's a student that is taking Regents at the end of this week, there are some end of next week, I'm sorry. There's some preparation classes that are available, and we are, happy that our summer sessions and school students are getting and teachers are getting a well-deserved rest before the start of school. We've also already spoken about the national recognition from My Brother's Keeper. I know that Mr. Dre also mentioned that. We are proud, and we hope to expand those programs and those offerings for our community in the future. As we start to prepare and move forward towards the beginning on opening in school, we know that transportation is one of those areas that is a top priority. And it all starts with the update to your address. So if you have not already done so, if there's a move that you have or that you have not connected with the district about, please make sure you update that. That can be done here at our registration department. Your information is what helps us route buses. So similar to last year, we have initial routes and we anticipate those routes to be posted soon, but we know that that is some of the bigger concerns as we begin to open schools transportation. We also have put out information on our website inviting parents and guardians. We like to have your participation on upcoming interview. We have a couple of administrative interview committees, and we have asked for some solicitation from the community if you would like to participate in those things. There's a survey posted on the website. If you would like to engage in those activities, please complete the survey, and you'll be added to our list for that consideration. Finally, our athletic season for the fall is underway. To participate, you need to complete final forms, which are on our website. All information can be found within the district. So we thank you for your trust and your partnership, and I want to just update on a couple of items that were brought up during public comment. I know that there was concerns about some of the opening plans and preparations. I know that that is one of the things that has been appointed to curriculum instruction. We are going to be starting in our fall, our curriculum committee, and that was one of the top priorities, that and the reading program that we were going to, and literacy programs that we have been working on all summer with the plans and the layout. So we will definitely make an announcement at which curriculum committee both of those presentations will be in so that the community can be updated as to the plans and the design for the NFA main campus and what those plans are. So we understand and know that you guys have all been anxiously waiting what those plans are, and we were stalled for a bit, but we're back on focus and been developing those plans. The other thing that I wanted to say is the liaison. We know that when construction projects happen, it's something that we will bring back and come up with a method by which will be communicated by our communications department if there is a concern. So we will keep you updated. We know that that is a hindrance on our community when there's such a large-scale construction project. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. And just now in the terms of transition, we are a large district, and there are times when community members may reach out with questions and concerns. Sometimes there's not an immediate response from me as the acting superintendent. Sometimes those responsibilities are delegated to my executive team that sits around the table. I may not at all times be able to respond to you directly. However, it is assigned and executed. If there is follow-up needed by me, I will communicate with the community around some resolutions. I know especially last week I didn't get out to anyone because I needed a much-needed break, but that is kind of the communication protocol. What I've asked my executive team, if I am asking them to communicate with a parent on my behalf, to say such, so that a parent in the community does know. And if there is follow-up needed by me, that will be taken on by me. I think that is it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peterson. Agenda item number, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Peterson, if you can possibly expound on something, so you mentioned it, but perhaps you can expound on it, or we can hand it off to Dr. Soto. But the regions that we're talking about, I know there was a ruling that came down from Albany, and I know that it was to help aid and assist young people who have in the past not been able to pass the regions, and there are circumstances that they may be able to bypass that. But I know that ruling did come down. Can someone speak to that? And I guess my question is, what does that look like in our district? Have we reached out to form, because I've had students that I know have gone through our district. I run into them in the community, and I say, I talk to them, hi, how are you doing? What are you doing? And they said, although they finished school, they didn't graduate because they couldn't pass the regions. and they're out there in limbo. Are we reaching out to those families, or what are we doing?
So I'm going to start, and I will have Dr. Soto finish this statement. What you're referring to is the major life event exemption that was put down by the department, the New York State Regions and State Education Department around certain situations that students are involved in that, impact them majorly, whether it's a loss of a parent, homelessness, different types of situations where they can appeal and ask for an exemption based on this major life event. It was definitely a process that Dr. Soto is going to speak to more about what we did in June and what we will continue to do in August to reach out to our students and families to make sure that they're informed and seeking that exemption if needed. Dr. Soto?
Thank you for asking that question, Mr. Howard. So Mr. Jernigan's, our director of PPS, and I reviewed our cohort list. So we have cohorts of students who may have graduated because they fulfilled their graduation requirements. However, they did not, just as you mentioned, did not graduate because they did not meet our region's requirements. So we reviewed our cohort list, current students that were expected to graduate this year and previous years, students that actually dropped out of our district, right? They lost hope. And so we contacted these students. We had their school counselors contact these students, and many of these students actually came back, re-enrolled, and then requested an exemption and were provided with that exemption and graduated. So we're hoping that that would also help our graduation rate. If you know of students, it could possibly be that they didn't get our message, but this was emailed, we called students, maybe they didn't get our message, but if you are aware of those students, we would love to hear it. But we did review our entire dropout list. We reviewed all of the students that withdrew, and we called each and every one of those families to come in and register their students so they can be reviewed and hopefully be granted with an exemption. That all has to be documented, though, Mr. Howard. There were, though the guidelines were open for us to interpret, if a student experienced a major life event, these were things that had to be documented within our student management system.
When it happened, or they could present it to you now?
Both.
Both.
We were very open to that because oftentimes we had students that were embarrassed, didn't come forward with some of their personal issues. And this is why it was important that our school counselors reach out to these students because they had developed relationships with these students and felt like they can share what was happening. I, along with Mr. Jernigan's, reviewed all of these exemption letters. So parents had to come forward and write letters as to why they felt their child should be exempt from the regions. We sat down and we read each and every one of those letters. Once they were reviewed, and we thought this is an opportunity for a student to graduate, those exemption requests were then given to our acting superintendent, Ms. Peterson.
Would it be possible just to get an idea of the number of students that have benefited from this?
So I believe from this cohort, we had 23 students, right?
Okay.
Joe and I actually reviewed some of the cohort lists. I'm aware of 8 from last year that were able to come back.
Right, and-
But this year, I believe we have 23 as of now.
23 as of now, and of the 8 that came back, what we did was, because we know that enrolling in a school district can be a very difficult process, especially for a young person who's trying to figure this out. So we found a way to expedite that process, to get them in quickly, still follow all our requirements, but get them in and kind of hold their hand through the process, get them back in, process them, get them what they needed, and get them their diploma.
And we really need to
Awesome, thank
thank
you.
Dr. Cloyd for that,
Absolutely.
right? At our registration, she did move the process quite quickly to support our families.
Is there any criteria that you follow for granting this, for listening to and granting this?
So this past spring, we actually had a committee meeting. So we belong to the Ulster Consortium, my colleague and I, and we attended professional development that was held by the New York State Board of Regents. And they did provide us with a criteria. Ms. Peterson mentioned homelessness, mental health issues, death in the family, illness, severe illness. We also had children that were experiencing issues with their residency, right? We had some students that had lost their parents because they had to go back to their country and were left here alone. So there were a number of things that, that the state actually provided us with.
So, and then basically after the training, it was met where we came up with an internal protocol. Mr. Jernigan's, Dr. Soto, along with the NFA principals, came together to come up with steps because this all has to be reported and tracked. And with the assistance of the registration and data department, we were able to reach out and set the standard for the data management end of it, and also to ensure that we are notifying students to take advantage. I mean, unfortunately, we do have that many students, and then we know that there's many more that also do not come forward with some of the things that are happening within our household. So we're hoping as this gets, gets out, that we will have more people taking advantage. Thankfully, the PPS department, within their supporting of our students, had certain things well documented. So it was very easy to give the appeal because it was documented, we had proof of it, and they had, it was very easy to prove the evidence to give the appeal. So thank you to the PPS department, the social workers, the school psychologists, and the counselors that have also been keeping track of major life events in our data management system so that we were able to grant the exemptions in a very expeditious manner.
Just for information, is there a cap on how long it goes back or age or any?
At the moment, it's for our 9th through 12th grade students. New York State has not provided us with an update as to will this continue or will this end? But we believe that this is the direction that the state is going, and there's much conversation about, there's much conversation about continuing with the New York State Regents exam. So we think this is a way to sort of phase out these exams. But currently, right now, a 9th grader who had a major life event, took an exam, failed exam, we have proof of it, they will be exempt as well. 8th graders who actually sat for the algebra, living environment, or earth science exam.
Okay, so you said 8th, 9th through 12th, then you said 8th, 9th. But what about students who graduated 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes, that is the case. That's why we contacted those families. It also applies to those students who withdrew.
So it does apply to students who
Yes,
may be
sir.
22, 23 years old who never got there, or no?
By New York State law, by the time, depending on if you're special ed, it's either 21 or 22, that we can grant the award of a diploma. So there are some students, and that's why it was so important when this initially came out, that Dr. Soto and Mr. McGrath got on our dropout list. Because our dropout list governs, we know the requirements of what students didn't meet. So the data dig on who was eligible was important. That initial reach out was important to try to capture those kids that would have aged out. After you age out, we can't award a diploma. So that was that initial work that was done in the spring after this information dropped from New York State for us to gather those students, because it also impacts our grad rates. New York State in the accountability system also is looking at our 5th, 6th, and 7th year graduation rate. So it is important for us to be on top of who those students are. It also was helpful because there were also students that were part of our evening program in different places that could take advantage and actually reach that graduation point as well.
Thank you. Agenda item number 5, Mr. McCoy, Clerk of the Board.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the approval of the minutes from July 31st, the 17th, and July 15th.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate any out? Get a motion in a second?
Second.
Mr. DeRay?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
That concludes my items, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Moving on to Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Ms. Holder. Good evening.
Good evening. Mr. President, I have agenda items 6.1 to 6.17 on consent for your consideration.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out any of these items? I would like to separate out 6.16. Get a motion on 6.1 to 6.17 minus 6.16.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on these items? Mr. Levinstein.
Thank you, Mr. Duray. So, Ms. Holder, is the following an accurate description of the Human Resources agenda being presented tonight? HR agenda items A through J, including appointments, change of statuses, leave of absences, and resignations. Creating 2 data processing clerks and 1 principal clerk. Approve a contract in lieu of probation. Rescind a contract in lieu of probation as the certification was completed. Terminate a probationary employee. Recommending abolishing 4 pedagogical positions for the 25-26 school year for reasons of economy and efficiency. Affected employees will be on the preferred employee eligibility list in their singular tenure area. Approve return of an assistant principal. Approve appointments for Jumpstart Jamboree program for incoming pre-K and kindergarten students. National Night Out program funded by the MBK grant. Rescind to correct and approve fall coaches. 5th to 6th grade and incoming 9th grade orientation appointments. Additional summer committees of special education meeting appointments. A specialized reading instruction appointment. Additional extended school year appointments. A resolution to create 5 full-time instructional coaches, which will be teachers on special assignment for the 25-26 school year, funded by Title I School Improvement Coaching for Excellent funds, contingent on TSI, ATSI, and CSI allocations, and 30 tenure recommendations. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Levinstein. Any further discussion on 6.1 to 6.17 minus 6.16?
Mr. Howard? Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes. Thank you. Item 6.16, could I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on the item? I'll help with the discussion here. This is one of my favorite things, tenure recommendations. And tonight we have 30, and 30 names to me is important to 1 or 2, and I always like to read the names. And I'm going to make the assumption we're going to vote positively on this, so I'll go ahead with that. So we have 30 names tonight, 30 people who've been in our district. They've achieved tenure. They're on the team. They've worked very, very hard to do this, and we welcome them to the team. So their names are Jack Anderson, Dara Brands, Natalie Candelaria, Michael Dubaldi, Phelan Dutcher, Danielle Gomez, Kathleen Hand, Shayna Jarvis, Megan Mahoney, Carly Serra, Laura Meyer, Emma Sweeney, James Reagan, Tierra Roberts, Flavia Rodriguez, Crystal Santos, Stephanie Secreto, Amelia Mansueto, Michelle Stevenson, Mariana Plate, Dina Walker, Timothy Marcantonio, William Parks, Naisha Perez, Janie Bravo, Edwin Cazada, Kimberly Burke, Nicole Gaffney, Wendy DeBenedictis, and Kayla DeSiglio. So congratulations to all. Wonderful. Now we can vote.
Mr. President, I have 2 items I'd like to walk on.
So point of order, we need to
Oh,
vote
I'm
first.
sorry.
To vote on
Oh, I'm
6.16.
sorry.
Roll call on 6.16. Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Thank you, Ms. Holden.
I have 2 items to walk on for your consideration.
2 motions or 2 resolutions?
Resolutions.
Okay. Could you read the first one?
Okay. Be it resolved that the board president is hereby authorized to sign employment-related agreements with the following district employees as presented to the board at this evening. Rodney Arthur, Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, grades 9 to 12. Megan Sullivan, Executive Director of Exceptional Learners, grades 9 to 12, and Sharon Spencer, Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, grades 3 to 8. A copy of said agreement shall be incorporated by reference within the minutes of this meeting.
Thank you. Can we get a motion and a second to add the item?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call to add, Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Yes. Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Thank you. Now can we get a motion and a second on the item?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? Good.
Ms. Christine Bello? Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Yes. Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Thank you. Second item, please.
Be it resolved that the Board hereby authorizes its president to sign a settlement agreement and general release resolving the case of Data Almodovar versus Jackie Manning Campbell and the enlarged City School District of Newburgh, which is pending in the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, case number 23-CV-7187, as presented to the Board at this meeting. A copy of said settlement agreement and general release shall be incorporated by reference within the minutes of this meeting.
Thank you. Get a motion and a second to add, please?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Thank you. Could we get a motion and a second on the added item?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this added item? Nope. Good.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
That concludes our items. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item number 7, Assistant Superintendent of Finance. Good evening, Ms. Roring.
Good evening. The Finance Division presents items 7.1 to 7.20 for your routine consent consideration this evening.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out any items? Any discussion on any items? Good.
Point of order, you need a motion and a second.
On a motion and a second, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Duray?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Yes. Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my items.
Thank you, Ms. Roring. Agenda item 8, Assistant Superintendent, CIO, DPO. Mr. McGrath, good evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Division of Technology and Data presents items 8.1 through 8.6 for the board's consideration on consent.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out any of these items? Get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Politi?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello?
Yes.
Ms. Burks?
Yes.
Mr. Duray?
Yes. Agenda item number 9, Assistant Superintendent, CNI Elementary. Dr. O'Grady, good evening.
Hi, thank you. Well done with pronouncing all those names, by the way. Very impressed by your decoding skills. Very much aligned to the science of reading. The elementary CNI, I'd like to present 9.1 and 9.2 for your consideration on consent.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out either item? Get a motion and a second then?
Second.
Any discussion on either item? Mr. Levinstein.
So, Mr. President, I would just like to ask if we can possibly get a brief explanation of 9.2. It is a costly item, and what the rationale and expectation might be for a program like that.
Dr. O'Grady, if you could help.
Sure. So, and feel free to jump in whenever you want, Mr. McGrath. So, iReady is, so as you know, we've piloted several math curriculum throughout curricula throughout the last few years, and through a shared decision-making committee process, we followed the process, the folks voted on the iReady mathematics curriculum, right? So we need to engage in a process of assessment. That means we have to engage in diagnostic, where we diagnose, and formative assessment. And it just makes good, clean sense to use iReady as the diagnostic tool, because not only is it effective, but the stakeholders who were involved in the committee approved it, and it's aligned to the curriculum that we've adopted for the math program this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion on this item?
Mr. Levinstein,
Yes.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard.
That concludes my items. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10, Assistant Superintendent, C&I Secondary.
Good evening, Mr. President. Thank you. So our division presents agenda items 10.1 through 10.4 for the board's consideration on consent.
Thank you. Would any board member like to separate out anyone, 10 to 1, 10 to 4? Ah, son is wicked. Get a motion and a second then, please?
So moved.
Any discussion on either item? Good to go.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray, Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard, Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my items for this evening.
Thank you. Item 11, Assistant Superintendent, Exceptional Learners, Mr. McGrath.
Okay. The Division of Exceptional Learners presents for the board's consideration items 11.1 through 11.6.
Thank you. Would anybody like to separate out any of these items? Get a motion and a second on 11.1 to 11.6.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on any of these items? Good to go.
Ms. Christine Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi.
Yes.
This concludes my items. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no need to move into executive session at this point. So get a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Thomasina Bello,
Yes.
Ms. Burks,
Yes.
Mr. Duray,
Yes.
Mr. Howard, Mr. Levinstein.
Yes.
Ms. Politi,
Yes.
Ms. Christine Bello.
Yes.